Absolutely. I mean, one of our ideas too was make it into that executive lounge, have the breakfast there. You can have almost a separate area that can be executive breakfast, regular breakfast, but then make the whole thing almost like an executive lounge afterwards. Mercado, we honestly thought Mercado right now, as it is good. No changes required. That wasn't just me talking. This lounge, we think the Mist Lounge, other than 51, the Mist Lounge is the most underutilized space we have. Do we make it part of Watermark was a question. Do we use this as an executive lounge? Was an idea. Offer space as private dining area with chef's table for a VIP experience. We mentioned that we need to fix the dumbwaiter if we want to do this. We discussed the sushi concept. Overall, it was an agreement that it will ruin the experience of the Watermark, and that was the odor. Teppanyaki sushi is very strong odors, and with that open the way it is, will flow down into the Watermark. The Watermark, the new menu is good value. Upgraded wine list works, is in the works. We're changing that. More marketing is required both with external and internal guests for Watermark. We don't think Watermark needs a facelift at this time. It looks good the way it is. Spice Lounge, the windows open, draw in more guests, but add the warm temperature. And that's one of those things that you're never going to be able to fight the elements. And, it's 95 degrees with the humidity outside, and that's what you're kind of stuck with. All the furniture is too large, they felt. And this was coming from people that actually worked in Spice. They're very clunky, very bulky, and too large for the area. Lounge area should offer more seats and tables. Okay. Menu needs to include healthy options. Everyone seems to be saying the same thing. Uniforms with boots and skirts works for the evening environment, but not for the daytime look and feel. Okay. Overall, all restaurants need their own specialty to support the resort look and feel. All-inclusive packages were brought up, and with Niagara Falls started, I think, the packages many years ago. It needs to now move and continue to, those don't really work anymore, but we think all-inclusive is the way of the future for this area. Advertise room and meals for locals. So we do think we're underutilizing our locals. There are a lot of locals in the Niagara Falls area that have the money to come and spend here, and why not tap into that market? It's been taboo for years and years. Is don't go to Niagara Falls, you're going to get ripped off, and that's what our locals think. We need to change that mentality, because there's so many times where we're sitting empty. Why sit empty when we can advertise specials to our locals? Option to offer guests to dine on site the first evening and receive a discount for their second evening was an idea, or a drink and spice. We do have, a lot of times we focus on the package, and the package gives them one voucher one night, and we think that they're just going to spend the second night. But we're not really incenting them. So a lot of people say, well, we had our first night in the Hilton, let's go somewhere else for the second night. Incentive to stay inside. Give an overview and F&B brochure to guests upon check-in. I know Vince has been talking about this for years, and it's the passport. Just something that we can put in our guests' hands that are going to really give them the whole experience of traveling throughout, Italy or Tuscany. And this is something that I think we could do. We do a little bit of it with kids. It works with our kids. During March break, we do a little kids passport, and it gets the parents to bring the kids to all of our food outlets, and it works. We see that it works. People are coming in from all our outlets, all our restaurants. I think we could do that for all the adults as well. Common areas and amenities, conference. More space could definitely be used. However, the relationship with the Scotiabank Convention Center and Falls View Casino Resort would need to be evaluated. I mean, we have currently space across the street, and this is salespeople talking, and we have huge space in the convention center, and it's not full yet. So building space here, can we fill it? Will it get filled? Those are questions I think that need to be discussed and asked. Exhibition space, though, is a key. That was what we thought. Corporate groups or associations have exhibitions, and that's the big thing that draws the big numbers. Really, it's really difficult here. If they do the exhibition space at the convention center, are we the #1 choice hotel? Not necessarily. Target audience, because you could build a place for 10,000, 5,000, 1,000. The target audience is 500. That was the magic number sales came up with. We thought, build a space to accommodate 500 people. This ballroom does not accommodate 500, by the way. At a cellular charging station, somewhere in the hotels, and it was mentioned, you know what, everybody is looking to charge their cell phones, and constantly people forget their cables when they go. If you have a place where you can instantly boost, I mean, you can charge for it, but instantly boost your phone to full power, I think it's something that guests would really like, especially if you're in the conference area. Lobby positioning. There's some repeats that should be there. That first line should be there. Why change something that is working so successfully? And this is the moving the lobby from the front to the back. This was a comment somebody mentioned. But somebody asked in the back, if we move it to the back and it didn't show up on here, will there be more space for lines? So our lineup in the back is an issue at certain times of the year. If we move this to the back, is it going to be the exact same thing? It's the same size. Are we still going to have the same issues? For the pool, it was commented, and the comment came back up again today, especially after March break, is do we need a water slide anymore? We have a water slide. If we change the pool and build a new pool, do we need a kids pool? Do we need a kids area? Are we that kind of hotel? 15 years ago, when we built it, Great Wolf Lodge wasn't there, and I believe the Down Falls, or the hotel's called now, didn't have the water park. So it was something, yes, that attracted people. Moving forward, is that the market we want, and do we need a water slide? Possibly focus on more adults, higher end. A lap pool. You know, we have a lot of people here that are health conscious, and they're couples, and you know, the young adults that we talked about that are 20 and 25. Those are going to be our customers, and they're the ones that are looking for things like that. An indoor-outdoor option. If we're a resort, do we want an indoor-outdoor pool? There's one in Blue Mountain, the west of Blue Mountain has that, you know, from inside you swim outside. It's open all year round, all winter. That is an attraction in itself that could bring a lot of people. The whirlpool outside, absolutely. Cabana area was brought up. You know, when you're in Vegas, everybody loves those cabana areas. People spend big money. If you're going to build something outside, and you do a cabana area, that might only be seasonal, but again, June, July, August, September is our busiest 100 days or 120 days. Why couldn't we make extra revenue on cabanas? Our fitness area absolutely needs to be larger. It needs to be more resort-like. A spa, we think, is definitely needed. If you're going to have a resort, you need to have all those amenities of a resort. Include packages on site for weddings, you know, hair, makeup, not even weddings, but social events in general. Every weekend, people come here for social events, and Ross is a huge area for social events, parties of 15 and 20 and 30 people. You know, we don't even know it's a social event. They're there. They're there for their weddings and all kinds of stuff. Even during the week they come, in the summertime. Those are the ones that would use something like that. For the 51st floor, these are some of the ideas we had. Add a variety of higher-end hospitality suites with adjoining guest rooms. Similar concept to 1614. 1614, I mean, it's done its job. And it still does its job. People love that room. It may look beat up right now and starting to look really run down, but I'll tell you, it still to this day impresses people. And Marianne, you could probably say, how many conventions have booked here because of 1614? A lot. They're deal closers. We'll give you 1614. And it is a deal closer day after day after day. And people love that because you cannot get that in any other hotel in Niagara Falls. More of those, I think, would work. Again, we could theme them, we could do a lot of things with it. We could use it as multi-purpose space for weddings and functions. It doesn't have to be just hospitality. We could now do, and Paula, where's Paula? Is she here? No. this year, and she developed an elopement package, and it's the neatest thing. It's something that weddings these days are not always 250, 300 people. And the elopement package, we just launched them maybe a month or two ago that we got the paperwork in and ready to go. And she has 16 contracts already for elopement packages. And they range anywhere from between $3,000 and $5,000 these people will spend on each one of those. And those are people that are coming in for a wedding of 10 people, 8 people. And all it is really is using our suite 50-50, having most of the time either a ceremony there and a ceremony or a ceremony in mist. And then they come in and have dinner. And we're charging these people $3,000 to $5,000. We included flowers and the photographer to take pictures, but we built this package for them. And those are the way of the future, is giving these, one-stop buy. This is how much it's going to cost you. They don't want to have to do anything. Just come and take care of it. People will spend the money. They're spending the money now. Social space we talked about. We need to have a holding kitchen. That was my comment. Just for operation purposes. Last page, operation. We're currently a 4-star hotel. We don't aspire to be a 5-star hotel. I don't think we do. But we do need to be a better 4-star facility. We need to do a lot of things to bring us to that higher end 4-star. Operations, belief. Employees need to believe. They need to embrace that we are moving up and we are indeed. We're number 1 now and we're going to be better, but they need to believe that. Training needs to start from the top down. Okay? Lack of communication. Okay? Just guys, it's just a comment. Concierge, don't take it personally. No follow-through. Follow-up, again, was mentioned by other groups. There isn't a lot of follow-through involved. It's not one department, guys. It's every department. We're all guilty of this. Hiring process, the pre-screen process is required, standard list of questions. Again, HR, it may be being done, maybe not. This is just something that was put out there. Need to post positions on reputable websites, and I don't know currently where we post our stuff, but get better quality staff in the hotel. Overall, it's a great place to work. Staffing levels are too low. Staff are torn in different directions from ownership. Mixed messages. Every idea was written down. Don't shoot the messenger. Need more logical parking, more restaurants, theaters, spa, etc. are to be built. More marketing is a must overall. Buying equipment when needed. Possibility of each department having their own trainer for consistency and communication. That should be happening already. Minimum training is given to new hires. That's everything. Any questions?
Any questions for you guys? None? I got a couple. Sure. You gave us a good, because you come from food and beverage. And one thing I'm wrestling with, and maybe everybody else, we get 3,000 people in this hotel when we're full, approximately, right? 2,500 to 3,000 people. How many do we get actually eating here? Do we get 600, 700 of our guests eating here?
Well, don't go by the covers, and he's right. If you look at it, we have 25, say on a Saturday night, we have 2,500 to 3,000 people. On not a March break week, just a regular Saturday, Sunday, breakfast-wise, when you add our 2 restaurants together, we're under 800. So if we have 2,500 people here, and just say that's at the minimum, the low end, 2,500, I bet you it's higher, but if there's 2,500, 800 are having breakfast. He's right, what are the other 1,600 or 1,500 doing for breakfast?
How many are staying?
How many bucks?
How many are actually paying?
Well, paying is how you look at it. Because they're paying it if they buy the package. They're paying for it. They buy the
How many
package.
are not on package?
Of the ones that are not on package, I'd say it's less than 20%. That's going to be a really, really good guess.
Just out of curiosity, is that maybe too because of the time when the restaurant closes? Because I know when I go to a hotel, if I want to sleep in, some of the comments that I get back when people are at the casino all night, they want to sleep. Because we're going to get out at 11 o'clock in the morning, they want to sleep as close to that 11 o'clock as possible. Maybe they would think about eating before they got on the road to go home. But they don't want to get up early to go out for.
But We do, we have water markets open until 11:30. So it's not like we're most hotels, and even if you go to a resort, an all-inclusive resort, by 11:30 breakfast is over in every resort. You can sleep in Cuba or Mexico till noon if you want, but you've missed breakfast. It's only runs till 10:30, 11. We actually run till 11:30. So I think we're overextending our breakfast.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question, Ross, with caution, she works in Mercado, but one of the things I think about is a full-service Starbucks versus just the proudly brew serve concept we have right now. So can you shed some light on that? Do you think there's a necessity or need for that? Are we losing customers at Mercado? Maybe it solves some of the issues with breakfast. I mean, I think a lot of our customers go to Tim Hortons for breakfast, to be honest with you. I think you leave here, we drive to Tim Hortons, time and we get up and go. So I think that's why our numbers are low, but talk about the Mercado and what's happening in that area. Like, do you see?
Well, we're losing customers there because of little things, like we don't have the app option. A lot of people for payment, they choose not to charge it to the room or credit or debit or cash. They want to use the apps, the cards. So we have, this week especially, I've seen the biggest numbers ever during the March break of people actually turning away. And the fact that we don't have all the options and all the health options that Starbucks offers, yes, it confuses people that we have the logo and people are very visual. They see a symbol and they automatically assume that it's a Starbucks. They don't read the fine print. I had somebody say back to me, well, what about the people that don't speak English, but they recognize the sign and they don't understand the fact that it says we only brew the coffee versus we are. So we're getting them in, but then we're kind of losing half of them and they're walking away because, I can't do the frappuccino or I can't do the smoothies or I don't have the chocolate croissants that Starbucks is so loudly advertising right now. So we are losing.
Come turn around and leave?
Yeah.
So how is it?
For just the Starbucks items. So either go full Starbucks or take that away. That's expensive, right? Here was for $20 for a coffee, of course,
Okay, one at a time. I'm sorry, Terry, I'm sorry. Thank you.
I think Starbucks is a great idea because even us serving breakfast in the morning, we have full-on croissants, muffins, danishes, coffee. They still get up and go, who wants what? And out the door they go, down to Starbucks. They come back with these big trays and we have the full coffee, muffins, danishes, everything, but they want Starbucks.
And they go there.
They go right out the door and they come back with trays of hundreds of dollars worth of stuff and it's sitting, we have all that right here, but they don't want it. They want all the Starbucks items.
Well, the 20-year-old that's being brought up with Starbucks, and the guy that now is going to become our corporate client and wants Starbucks.
And my question was a little bigger than that. Breakfast is great, but I was getting going more towards dinners, and when you say here about all-inclusive, and we got 2,500, 3,000 people in the hotel. For dinner, do we get 600 or 700? I don't think we get that many. I mean, you're doing 800 at Brazil, but I bet you 400 from other hotels.
I bet you, yeah, we need more than 400. We probably, when we did the test in Brasa for outside guests, inside guests, we were about 35, 65. So 35% of Saturday night customers are inside our hotel. 65% are outside our hotel.
Okay, so the question is this. You said all-inclusive. You didn't talk a lot about that, but what did you mean by that?
We talked about two things. One was all-inclusive, and that is that fixed price. You know, people do like that fixed price, and maybe it can be an option. It doesn't have to be the only thing we do. When you go to a resort down south right now, it's all-inclusive or nothing. Here, it can be an option where someone buys an all-inclusive package that will include their breakfast, their lunch, their dinner. If we're starting to move all our restaurants into this fixed price area, it becomes that much easier to do an all-inclusive where you will get them in your restaurants, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, drinks, though, will be separate. They wouldn't be included in our all-inclusive. And that's where it gets a little, you know, difficult for the marketing guys to grasp it, is when you say all-inclusive and someone thinks all-inclusive Mexico, they think I can drink my face off and eat whatever I want. Well, here, we can do the food side. Of course, we can't do the food side.
Even the great
I guess it's a marketing question, Vince, Jim, and the boys. We moved away from the 2-day packages, less packages. We haven't, they're just harder to sell. Just trying to understand what we're doing right, what we could be doing different.
We're just not selling as much. It's very difficult to compete with a hotel in a store that sells a $59 room rate, including a $100 room for assumption.
So competition driven.
I don't sell as many packages. I have a question for Frank, who's a concierge. How many people come to the desk and just don't want to really eat in a hotel restaurant because they're staying there? Do you find that at all? Like, I mean, I know you
That's
don't
fair.
capture everybody, but at the end of the day, when I go stay in a hotel, I typically don't eat in a hotel restaurant. I try to go elsewhere to eat. Is that an issue? Do you find that?
Yeah, there are people, whether it's, they preface it by saying, I ate here yesterday, now I want to go out. Oftentimes, they almost whisper that question because they think that we're probably under some directive not to recommend anything outside the hotel. They're kind of surprised when we say, all right, let's.
You are, aren't you?
Well, you know what, maybe we gotta change our whole focus. Instead of trying to get the 3,000 people that are staying in our hotel to eat here, maybe we go the browser route. You said at least 50% are from other hotels, 60%. So maybe we go to a direction where we theme our restaurants, like you said, create an experience, and maybe draw the extra 2,000 people from other hotels. Now you're drawing from a pool of 10, 15,000 people. So, yeah, good conversation, good stuff. And I'm sure the marketing guys will figure it out.
Maybe, Joe, also, we should formulate some partnerships with restaurants outside the hotel that would pay a percentage for the people that we're sending there, so that when we do send them out, it's not completely lost out.
Yeah. Good. Well, thank you very much. I think that was a good presentation. We have one more. 2 minute break.